This is the weirdest place to start. Maybe we'll cut this out. But who's your celebrity doppelganger? Or who do people say you look like?
I used to get, and this is all when I was younger, Carrie-Ann Moss.
Oh, I see that.
I think it's something in the nose, maybe in the short chin length hair.
Yeah. I was going to say Julianne Nicholson.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She's so cool.
She's the coolest, right? I think because of the cheekbones, and she has short hair now. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's
And like
cool.
gorgeous eyes like that. I don't know if hers are blue or greenish like yours.
I think they're icy blue. She used to Paradise, right?
Yeah. She's just so good in everything. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. I would take that.
It's a huge compliment on my part. So yeah, thank you for being here. Our guest today is April Winney. She is a television director who is known as an actor's director. And I'm so glad you're here, one, to a little bit demystify the process of directing, because actors, we know our process so well. So it's good just to hear about what else is going on that we may not be privy to. And I think people are going to learn a lot from this episode. So you're from California originally?
I am. I grew up in the Sequoia National Forest, which is like right in the middle of California. We have the biggest trees in the world. It's just south of Yosemite as the crow flies, but you can't drive there directly. But it's beautiful, staggeringly beautiful. At least it was. It did burn pretty badly in 2019. But most of my family still lives there. Mm-hmm. It is serene. It is picturesque. It was a very lonely childhood and teenage years. 2-hour bus ride to school,
No way.
Like really isolated. So it definitely had its moments when I was a kid where it wasn't ideal, which is why I have no problem raising my children in this big metropolis, Los Angeles.
Yes.
But yeah, it was beautiful.
Did your parents work? Sorry, this is fascinating. I love the Sequoia National Forest. Did your parents work for the national park?
No, there is a small community up there. It is mostly retired people. There's a lot of cabins, like summer cabins for people outside of LA. That's how my dad came to know it. He grew up in LA and his family had a summer cabin there. That's where he met my mother, who grew up in the Central Valley nearby. I was raised by just my mother, who was a teacher, and we just commuted.
Yeah.
She drove down the mountain to work. I went down the mountain to school, and we chose to spend our weekends and summers like up in the beautiful Sequoias.
Amazing.
If there was a good snow, I wouldn't go to school. But yeah, it's beautiful. I recommend. It's so close to LA. 3.5, 4 hours from LA. Go see it. And to clarify, I grew up in the National Forest, which is next to the national park.
Got it. Oh, okay.
You can't live in the national park, right? You can live in the National Forest.
Okay. Yeah. Did you get a TV signal in the forest?
No. I mean, I was born in 1978, so I had like rabbit ears trying to get like a channel, maybe PBS. No, did not get TV. I think maybe when I was in high school, you could start to get cable up there. I think to this day, you can't get a cell phone signal.
Wow. Wild.
If that changed, it changed very recently.
Yeah.
You unplug up there.
When did you move to LA, and did you have the intention of pursuing this business?
Yeah, so I studied in college. I studied theater. Went to UC San Diego, was pursuing acting, and in the middle of college, shifted my focus to theater directing. I moved to Chicago out of college. This is like 2001. Spent 4 years in Chicago working in their theater scene. And I think it's the years I spent getting a theater degree and directing small plays in Chicago that is what has made me an actor's director.
Wow.
I think any director who comes with a theater background is going to have a little more comfort with actors than someone with a more technical background. So I spent some years in professional theater, not making a single dime in Chicago. I did it for the love. Still have a lot of love for it. But I did decide that I wanted to switch to film and TV. I wanted to have 2 cents to rub together someday. And I wanted to reach more people. Genuinely, I would work so hard on a play that like 6 people would come see. And it just broke my heart, It just broke my heart. So I shifted to film and television in 2005, 2006. Moved here. Worked some years as a script supervisor. I knew I didn't know what I was doing. I knew theater and I knew how to get a performance. I knew how to tell a story. There were plenty of skills that I did have, but I did not know anything about the camera.
Sure.
So I started working as a script supervisor on crew and had a wonderful career, about 15-year career as a script supervisor, sitting next to incredible directors every day, learning from their mistakes, learning from their triumphs, all the while with the goal of being a director. It was always the goal. It was a means to that end. But I'm really grateful I chose that because I learned so much every day being on set. I learned all the things I didn't know.
Yeah. Did you ask them questions or just sort of like hear what they were talking about and store it away?
All the things. I mean, if I felt comfortable enough, I mean, typically I was pretty open with the director about my goals and aspirations. Most directors became my mentors. They were an open book for me, asked them anything. But so much, I think, just came from observing them and seeing, oh, that's interesting. He blocked it that way, and now he can shoot the whole scene in 2 setups with lens changes. Like, I really learned by watching. I also learned because I would sit at Video Village with the writers, the showrunners, the executive producers. And after a director had come and gone and they were editing that episode, I would turn around and be like, how did that episode turn out?
Yeah.
Did you find you had all the coverage you needed? How did that action sequence work? You know, like I learned a lot from the process with that director, but it was super interesting to hear how that all cut into an episode of TV. So I just really became a sponge, like on all sides. You know, I'd get on a show. I was on the show The Fosters. I mean, that's the show that changed my life, really. Yeah, because the executive producers, the creators of that show, and the showrunner, they were just so supportive of not just me, of everyone's goal. They wanted to know, okay, you're here, you're the second AC. What do you really aspire to do? Oh, you want to be a DP? Okay, let's see what we can do. And would look for opportunities to like move people up into the positions that they dreamed. So I got my start directing on that show, and I'm not the only one. I'm not the only one. They did that for a handful of us. And, you know, I'll be forever grateful.
That's amazing. Peter Page, Bradley Bredeweg were the creators of that show. To this day, good friends. To this day, good supporters. Yeah. That's incredible. So being script supervisor on that show and then going to director, was that helpful to know everybody who was on set?
100%. I mean, having your first episode be in your home. It was my home show.
Yeah.
They weren't going to let me fail.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Everybody believed in me. Everybody held me up. Everybody got me through. Because no matter what, you learn by doing.
Yeah.
You know? I made some mistakes. I learned from them. Next episode, made some mistakes, learned from them. Also gained confidence every time I did it, because even though there were a few mistakes in there, I did a lot of things right. So my first 2 episodes of TV were The Fosters. And then I stepped out and started doing some other shows. I did some kids shows, a lot of kids and family in the beginning. And that was different. Then I'm stepping out of my home and into a more foreign land where I definitely had more to prove. In the early days, I mean, probably still, if you're a woman or a person of color and you step on a set, sometimes there is an assumption that you are there because you tick a box.
Oh, wow.
Those pressures have gone away for now, but for a while they were real. And so you would feel that. You would feel that. But I just thought of it as a challenge. Like, okay, by lunch, I'm going to get them on my side. You just have to show that you actually do know what you're doing. You're there on merit. You know you're there on merit. You know you're there because you're good at what you do. And so you just have to show it.
Yeah. This feels like a little bit of pressure, but
for sure.
Yeah.
The pressure's no joke. The pressure is no joke.
Yeah.
I know that's something actors can resonate with.
Oh, gosh, sure. Absolutely. Yeah. So how does one get their first TV directing job outside of their home show? Did you get an 8, like genuinely?
Yeah. I mean, it was messy and I don't know how. It's definitely some like right place, right time. I did get an agent after my second episode of The Fosters. After one episode, nobody cared. was like, come back after you've had 2.
Oh, geez.
I did. But if you get 2 on the same show, it's like proof. Like, oh, okay, they liked her. They brought her back. So after my second, I did get an agent, and the agent is what got me the next show I did, which was a show called Just Add Magic for Amazon. I ended up doing 6 episodes of that show over the course of their 3 seasons. I think it was 3 seasons. Yeah. And then, it just kind of grows from there. It's mostly been like a word of mouth growth for my career and a lot of just being hired back on the same show.
That says a lot that they bring you back.
It does. It's definitely a point of pride for me.
Yeah.
I've been brought back
I
so
love
many
that.
times. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it keeps you employed and also a huge sense of pride.
Yeah.
Yeah, that what you're doing works.
Yeah.
Be respected by your colleagues is
Right.
huge. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So after some TV for youth and families, you have a bit of like a 1-hour drama, like prowess, How did that transition happen?
That was the result of a program.
Okay.
I did the ABC Disney program, and I'm so terrible at remembering the years. I want to say like 2016, 2017. It's a 2-year program. After the program was over or nearly over, they called me to shadow on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Oh,
Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
They called you to shadow.
Yeah, because the program arranges shadows, and I was somewhat limited in my ability to shadow during the program because I had a baby. I think I shadowed also on Grey's Anatomy. I shadowed on a couple things, but it was Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that it really clicked. I shadowed the producing director, Gary Brown, and I worked really hard, and I asked lots of questions, and I was the ideal director shadow. And I wrote Gary a really nice letter at Wrap, and then they called me for the next season, which was their last season.
Wow.
That was just a big action show. Big Marvel. It was huge. And I don't know. I rose to the occasion, I guess. I live by this quote by Georgia O'Keeffe. She says, I've been terrified every moment of my life, but I've never let it stop me from doing a single thing I wanted to do. And to me, like, that's what every directing opportunity has been. Terrifying, but you do it anyway. You put one foot in front of the other and you do it anyway. And then after so many episodes, it stopped being terrifying. You know what I mean? And then it became like, oh no, okay, yeah, this is what I do.
Yeah. Not a lot of action shots on the Foster.
No.
Exploding pieces. Yeah, not a lot. Internal, emotional maybe. Yeah.
Every show has a different set of challenges, and those can be the ones that are apparent, the ones that you can see on the screen, and then it can be the ones that are more internal politics, tricky personalities, things like that. So every show's got them. Ooh, don't be fooled.
Yeah. Okay, good to know. So when taking on a directing job, how long before you shoot the episode do you start working on it?
You have just about as many days to prep as you do to shoot.
Oh, wow.
So usually, I mean, it totally depends on the show, budget level. It depends on so many things. But I'm going to say for an hour-long drama, on average, it's like 7 to 8 prep days, 7 to 8 shooting days.
Okay. Does that include location scouting?
It does.
Wow, okay.
It does. Locations, so I currently direct on Tracker, which is on CBS, and that show is it stars Justin Hartley, and he plays a character who finds missing people. And the structure of the show is that he drives around in this Airstream, and he drives all over the country where there's a person has gone missing and goes to find them. So every episode takes place in a different geographical location. Of course, we film in Vancouver, but it's a location show. There's not a ton of standing sets. We shoot on location so much of the time that on that show, a significant amount of my prep is spent location scouting.
Really?
Yeah, I would say that's the biggest, like where I give the most time.
Oh, wow. Did they come to you with like, here's where we're going to go look for places since you're not a Vancouver native?
Yeah, 100%. There's an amazing locations department. They are weeks ahead. As soon as they get the script, even before they get a script, they'll get like an inkling of the type of locations that they need. The writers really have to work ahead to give the location scouts time to find the place. So one of my episodes that I did in season 1 was set in Chicago. So, it was high rises, gritty alleys, kind of a lakefront look, like all things we were able to find in Vancouver because Vancouver is so amazing that way.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, locations works hard. Then I get there. Usually I fly in on the first morning of my prep, land, and start scouting.
Wow.
Yeah, we'll spend several days probably. And it's stressful. You really need to find all your places so that our department can get to work, so that the cinematographer and I can get to work. Like there's a big push to find your locations and lock them so you can get on with the rest of your prep.
Interesting. And who goes on the location scout with you? The cinematographer, first AD?
Yes. First AD, second AD, art department.
Oh, wow. Full Sprinter van.
Yeah, it's a full Sprinter van. Sometimes 2 full Sprinter vans.
Wow.
And that's the initial scout. Sometimes then the cinematographer and the first AD and I will go back later to do some work. And then toward the end of the prep, it is a charter bus full of crew that goes and looks at everything. We go in one day. We see every place we're going to film.
Holy moly.
Mm-hmm. Everybody, well, not everybody needs to see it, but department heads need to see it. Everybody needs to see it.
1,000,000%. Yeah. Wow, that's fascinating. I'm just picturing the charter bus.
It's a charter bus. They were very nice.
In my mind, it's very cute. Like all of you guys in the charter bus. Yeah. Get in. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So as far as the schedule, the first shot up, the first scene up, do you get to decide that, or is it mostly logistics that decides that?
It's logistics.
Uh-huh.
It's logistics. It's actor availability, location availability, when the art department can have things ready, when has stunts had time to do their rehearsals. It's a lot of things. And that is the job of the first AD, and they work really hard at it, and they're amazing at it. And I wouldn't dream of inserting my opinions. It's hard enough what they have.
Sure. Oh my gosh, yeah.
Sometimes you got to start with a big scene and you don't want to. And you know what? Too bad.
Right.
You just got to do it. And I just look at it and go, okay, well, we'll get it out of the way.
Yep. There you go.
We'll get it out of the way. I am involved in many, many schedule meetings and discussions because the line producer and first AD need to know that I can do it. I have to go, okay, I can complete that scene in 2 hours. I can complete that scene in 3 hours. Sure, I can do this. Oh, you know what? There's not enough time for this scene down here. But maybe if I can shoot that one in 2.5 and buy myself 30 minutes here. So it's really, wow. And I'm making a commitment.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
I'm saying I can get that done in that amount of time.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah.
You also have to play ball. You have a set amount of days to do this episode.
Right.
And that means some scenes just have to be simple.
Mm-hmm. Interesting. I'm like popping into like actor mindset. I talk a lot to actors about really wanting to be the easiest part of the production's day. Yeah. Know the show so well, be so fully memorized, be so willing to take adjustments that when they drop you into a scene and it's first day of shooting and it's no one chose it, but it's this big scene and they've got to finish by this and it's the first, like you want to just get them off on a good start. Be the easiest part. Be so prepped and ready to go.
It's true. It's true. You know, it's true. If you've been on a TV set, I think you feel it. It's a machine. Yes, it is a machine. And this is the case with me too. It was moving before I got there.
Yeah.
It's going to be moving after I leave. And it just you can't be a cog in it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to just go the way the wheels are turning. You just have to jump in. If you're slowing it down, if you're stopping it, it's stress.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
And that's hard when you're like a guest in someone's house. You know, if you're a guest actor, you don't want to stink it up.
I've developed this workshop about being a guest star, about being a good guest star. I work with guest stars all the time, but on Tracker, that show is about guest stars. There is a guest star that is the missing person. There is the guest star that is missing their person. There is usually a law enforcement officer who goes on the chase with Coulter Shaw. That is a guest star. That guest star is probably in 20 scenes, but that is a guest star.
Wow.
That show is built around guest stars. It's so important. And I feel like I've seen it done so well, and I've definitely seen people struggle. And I get it because set is such a crazy machine. And as you say, you're dropped into it. And so I wanted to kind of create a class to prepare actors for what that's going to mean, what that's going to mean for you, and how you can prepare for it, and how you can not take things personally, and what you should expect, and all of that. Because, you know, just jumping in and being the easiest part of the day, it goes a long way. It endears us to you. We remember that. Oh my gosh, that actor was great.
That's so good to hear.
So professional.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I'm so grateful that you teach that class at our studio, that our actors and whoever else is joining can learn that straight from, I was going to say the horse's mouth. That sounds so offensive. The horse's map of they hear right from a director, because we don't often interface with directors unless we are on set. And sometimes it's so stressful. There's no time to sort of, so what do you like? What's your preferences? We just got to go. You're teaching another one of those courses in September, right?
Yes, in September, every Saturday in September here at SKS.
Yeah.
So excited. I taught one back in May, and it was great. I felt really good. The students seemed to learn a lot.
Yeah.
I think we had fun then.
What is the format of the class?
So it starts with a bit of a lecture from me.
Yeah.
I try to keep it concise, potent. Here are the things I would want you to know. I also hand out a script analysis guide. It's what I think as a guest star you should do to put your role in perspective and prepare for the role. As you know, it's all about the balance of being prepared and staying flexible.
Yeah.
So kind of how to hit that sweet spot. I've learned by teaching this class that tool is one of the more valuable things I think students get from the class. I saw it change performances in the best way. Yeah, it was cool. And then I give scene assignments. So that's the first day. That's all the first day. Second day is rehearsals. And I rehearse a little bit with everybody. There's only one of me, but I do everything I can to give a little guidance. Now, that is not something that you get as a guest star. You don't get that rehearsal time. But I feel like it's an opportunity for me to kind of intervene in your process and be like, okay, you've got this going on. Here's what you could be working on. Cool. And then the final 2 days, we get the camera up. It's important to me that actors understand camera position, where that camera is. What does that mean for your performance? I also think it's important to know, who can you ask? Who can you ask what questions? What questions can you ask, and to who and when?
Yeah.
Can I ask for another take? And things like that, right? So we run through all of that. We review the performance on the monitor after you do it, talk about, what's working, what isn't working.
Amazing. You mentioned the guest stars guide that you created. Can you tell us one thing that's on there that's people find pretty mind-blowing or intriguing?
One thing that I did that I think is really helpful for actors is I did rolling pickups. I would do rolling pickups or give them an adjustment while the camera was rolling, because that happens. And I think actors can kind of panic if something is thrown at them while we're rolling, but it's really not a big deal. Okay, I want you to go back 2 lines. We're going to do it again. And I want to change the end of that line a little bit. Let's go again. Just so they get used to the idea of pickups, right? Pickup with an adjustment being given to them right before out loud.
Yeah.
Without time to think. And the key is, don't overthink. Don't overthink. If it was a big adjustment, I would cut and come talk to you about it. It's a small adjustment.
Oh, that's really good clarification. Trust. If it was big, we would cut.
Yeah.
No big deal.
Yeah. Just trust. It's good. I just want that last line again. There was a plane. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So those kind of like holds and pickups and, doing that at the direction of a director with a camera rolling, everybody quiet, because that is real. And one actress in the class, it was highly emotional. She was full on tears. And I'd be like, hold, take a breath, stay in it. We're going to pick up those last 2 lines again. You let me know when you're ready. Wow. You know what I mean? I don't think you get that anywhere else other than a real set. So just trying to have that sort of connection with them and give them that practice.
To replicate the real life experience before you're getting paid to have that real life experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to know these are the curveballs that are going to get thrown at you. Someone's going to change a line. Someone's going to add a line. Someone's going to cut a line. They're going to change your mark. Also taught, one cool tidbit I taught, because all the scenes were what we call two-handers, two people, the concept of, I hope this isn't too obtuse, taking each other's marks. So you'd have two people talking, this person walks away, this person sort of takes their mark and works back at them, right? Like this idea of the simple adjustment of just taking somebody else's mark. When you're doing a blocking rehearsal, you feel an impulse to move. It's okay to move. Try to move on axis with the actor that you're playing opposite, right? That concept, especially if you come from theater where you can kind of move anywhere, drawing a line with their eyes, you and I, this is the drawing the line. That is now the axis, right? I can move anywhere on this line. I can turn around and walk away from you. I can walk toward you till I'm nose to nose with you. I can walk past you and make you turn to face me. That's moving on axis. If I walk over there, I've created a whole new shot, a whole new situation. And sometimes you have to. Sometimes that's just where the couch is or where the kitchen is, whatever. But if you don't have to, you're feeling an impulse to move, move on axis with the actor that you're speaking to.
Yeah.
The idea that if you move on axis, then it's more efficient for everybody. So those kind of helpful technical tips that if an actor can be thinking about that as they're preparing for their role, aware of those things when they come into a rehearsal, it can make them the easiest part of the process. Yeah. Do you think that was clear?
Oh, I think that's very clear.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
It would be easier if we stood up and did it, but
yes, for sure. And of course you'll be exploring that a lot more in depth than on its feet in the class.
Absolutely. Yeah. We even do an exercise to...
I love that. As you're talking, I'm like, why has this class not been offered before? And I'm like, oh, right, because you're an actor's director. Like you like interacting with actors. You have a fondness for us.
I do. I have a tremendous fondness for actors, a tremendous respect. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's a hard thing to keep showing up for. And, directors face a tremendous amount of insecurity, a tremendous amount of rejection as well. I deal with it every day, but not as much as actors do. And there's so much you don't know. And you put your heart out there on tapes. I see it all the time. You put your whole heart into it. And then it goes in the ether and you never hear a word. There's not a lot of feedback. Maybe you hear something nice from a casting director. Do you ever hear something nice from a casting director?
No, no.
I mean, I can tell you in casting decisions when I'm with the showrunners and the writers and we're talking about who we're choosing. I just was in one today talking about who we were going to choose for various roles. And ultimately, we can only choose one. And we're going down and we're, this guy's great. Man, this guy's great. Man, there's 6 good actors in this batch. What are we going to do? The showrunner's going, we're going to use her someday. We're going to cast him someday.
Wow.
And there's really a lot of positivity out there. And these are all the people that didn't get the role, just to be clear. And not that every performance is great. I'm not saying that. And obviously, I get what's already been filtered through casting, not watching every tape. But there's so much positivity and love and appreciation coming your way. There really is.
Wow.
Yeah. And there's a lot of, oh, man, you know what? They might be great in this episode we have coming up in the fall.
Wow.
Those kind of things are being said. So
that's incredible. I think that's a huge takeaway from this conversation because when we hear nothing, a lot of times we fill it in with things that are not positive.
Sure.
And certainly not we fill it in with things that are not about our future. I love them. Going forward, we're going to find a place for them. It's really just going nowhere, didn't hit the mark.
I know it must feel that way. And I think if casting directors had all the time in the world,
sure.
Yes, they'd probably go, just so you know, they loved you. And by the way, if they say that they loved you, this one isn't yours, but they loved you, believe it.
Yeah.
Because it's often true. It's often true.
That's so good to hear.
Yeah.
Can you tell us more about the casting process that you just finished? How many, let's say, day players, co-stars, guest stars were you casting for this episode?
Okay. I'm just doing a little math in my head.
Sure.
I'm going to say 5 to 6 guest stars and probably 5 co-stars.
Okay. Wow.
The only people we didn't cast yet are stunts.
Oh, wow. I didn't even think about you casting the stunts or stunts getting cast.
Yeah. Sometimes a performer doesn't speak, but they do a lot of muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And so even though we're not casting a stunt double, we might just cast a stunt person in that role because it would be a lot to cast someone and then double them. Would just if the bulk of their work is dragging a body and shooting somebody, let's cast a stunt performer.
Yeah.
No,
that makes a lot of sense.
And a lot of them are great actors. A lot of them have good experience.
Yeah. So how many tapes were you given for each character? Were there more for guest stars or more for co-stars?
Yes, there's more for guest stars than co-stars. But part of that reason is because co-stars are cast entirely out of Vancouver.
Okay.
Whereas guest stars, depending on the size, we look at tapes out of Vancouver and tapes out of LA.
Mm-hmm.
So for the bigger roles, we're looking at 2 batches of actors.
Got it. Okay. Are you aware when you're watching them, this is a Vancouver actor? Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
They come from different casting directors.
Oh, I see. Okay. Do you ever feel like production is favoring hiring local or?
I have found it on some shows, yes. And on some shows, that's tricky. On the show I do now, they're pretty generous. It's cast who you want. Who is the best for the role? I don't feel pressure to cast locally. I often do. I mean, Vancouver's got some talent now, They probably always have. But yeah, I look at both. I think ultimately, out of, let's say if there were 6 guest stars, I want to say at least 4 to 5 probably came out of LA.
Okay. Got it. It's such a general question, but I hate myself for asking it, but
it's okay.
What do you look for in a self-tape?
No, it's great. I think that's a great question. I think let's go ahead and unpack it.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about it. I mean, I know, there's the whole intangible. And there is an intangible. There is a character in our minds, right? But what I look for, what I'm really looking for in a performance, intensity, authenticity. I am thinking of the storytelling. I am thinking of the character's motivation. I'm thinking of their stakes. So I want to see always what I call the central point of conflict, the central emotional event of the scene. Where is the point in the scene where the actor gets the most emotional?
Ooh.
And I will kind of zero in on that, and I'm looking for the level of intensity, emotional intensity, that I think is appropriate in that moment, given the stakes. And that's a fine line, because you don't want to overact. You don't want to go too far, but you don't want to be too subtle and not make a choice either.
Yes.
So it's about the stakes for me. It's about the stakes and the emotional intensity around the stakes in that moment. That's what I look for. Also, authenticity. Is the character very authentically coming out of that person? Or are they putting it on too much? Right? And a lot of times it's just because it's just not the right role for you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's too much of a reach beyond like who you are as a person. So yeah. And then of course there's a lot of partnering up. Is that a believable couple? Is that a believable mother and daughter? Is that a believable father and son? Ages, like just making it a believable family. One episode I did, I was casting a couple, and the female that I loved the most just did not work with the male I loved the most. And it was like, man, I ultimately had to go with the male I loved the most because he had more scenes. He was just in the episode a little bit more. And then I had to cast a female that kind of worked with him. But like, it haunts me because she was so good. Oh, wow. She was so good. So yeah, it's tricky, and I get my first choice sometimes and sometimes I don't, and it's okay. It's a lot of talent out there.
Wow. Do you watch Slates?
Every time.
Really?
This is so important to me, and I'm glad you asked it because I know there's mixed messages out there about slates.
Mm-hmm.
I don't speak for everyone, but I'm going to speak for me.
Mm-hmm.
I look at the slate. If I like your performance, I look at the slate because I want to see if you're someone that I would like to work with.
Mm.
I love when an actor shows me a little glimpse of their personality in their slate. Just a little bit. I mean, a little bit. Like, I watched a slate today it was a co-star, a very small part, and he was so charming in his slate. His audition was good, but his slate, he was like, hey, and he said he had this funny, cute mustache, and he's like, just so you know, you can do anything you want with my mustache or my hair. Have a good day. Like, it was simple, professional.
Yeah.
I have to be clear.
Yes.
It has to be professional. I am not saying juggle or stand on your head. I am not. But I want to see who you are. We used to audition in person and I would get a sense of who you are. And now all I have is that slate.
Wow.
That's all I have. I don't know. I'm not a casting director. Disclosure. I am not a fan of the tilt down and up. Why are we doing this? It's so gross.
It's weird. It's so weird.
It makes me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I love a head to toe because I do need to know how tall you are because Justin Hartley is 6'4".
Oh, wow.
I just have to keep it in mind if you're in a scene with him. And what that means, if you're sitting down, who cares? A lot of times it doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. But it's just something I need to know. So I need to see head to toe. And I would love to just have you be like in a pleasant, warm, enthusiastic, lighthearted person.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only chance I get to see it.
Okay. So you're blowing my mind a little bit because there are, I think the difference is I'm hearing from casting directors like it's bookkeeping for us, but the decision maker I'm hearing it's impactful.
People have different thoughts about the slate, and I don't speak for everyone. I know there's some acting teacher that tells you to slate in character. I personally don't want that. I want you in that slate. I want to see who you are. So I want to be clear. I don't speak for everybody. And I would never cast somebody based solely on their slate.
Right.
Just to be clear.
Yeah.
But I do, if I like your performance, I watch your slate.
Okay, interesting.
And I'm looking for a person I would like to work with.
Okay. Oh, I want to dig in further if that's okay.
Absolutely.
Because I keep everything simple, like, hi, I'm Colleen Foy, 5'2", based in Los Angeles. Like, that's it. And I'm like, God, is that boring?
No, it's not. Because, do you say it with a smile?
Always, yeah.
Great. Great. And warmth and maybe a little more volume than you just did.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, I'm not saying make it complicated. I'm not saying entertain me. I'm not saying that at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think you should force something that isn't there.
Mm-hmm.
But a lot of people slate like a mugshot, I feel like. Do you know what I mean? April Winney 5'7", based on Los Angeles.
Yeah. Yeah.
No, that's all.
No,
it's subtle. It's a subtle adjustment I'm asking for.
Yeah. Okay. That's so great to know. Yeah. I was wondering, like, what are you guys seeing? I sent something in last week and I did 2 versions of it. Mm-hmm. And I'm wondering, does casting pick the version they prefer or the one they think is most in line and then it gets sent on? Do you ever see an actor's multiple takes?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes. I think casting mostly does make choice. Mm-hmm. I think if casting isn't sure which one is better, they'll send me both. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I will look at both. Mm-hmm. It's hard. I don't know. You ever hear, I wish I could remember who it was, some famous actor. I just do my own take on it. I think that's all you can do is do your own take on the character. Make a choice.
Yeah.
Not a risky choice, but make a choice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You know what I mean? And hopefully that aligns. And if it doesn't, that's okay too.
Yeah.
You ever see, there's this thing going around Instagram or the internet. It might even be old. I don't know. Okay. Emilia Clarke and Claire Foy auditioning for the same role. Right? Have you seen this?
I have.
It's amazing because they're both great.
Yes.
But so different. Mm-hmm. And so I just think it's such evidence that there isn't a right way.
Yeah.
They just had different takes on it. I don't know who ultimately got cast. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
I don't know either, actually. Yeah.
Or maybe a third person got cast.
For sure.
I don't know. But both performances so good, so captivating. Mm-hmm. Just a different take. Mm-hmm. And I know it's frustrating because you want to get it right. But you just have to do your take. Mm-hmm. You just have to do your take.
Yeah.
And maybe your take is totally right for this role. And maybe it's one of those ones that the showrunner is going to go, you know what? 3 episodes from now, we have such a great role for her.
Yeah.
Bring her back for that. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, that recently just came up on my whatever for you page or something.
Yeah.
Such a great example of how there's no one right way to do it, which is like every time I hear that, or I see it in my actors when 4 people are doing the same scene, and I'm like, this is gorgeous because they're all completely valid. It like washes all of the fear, not all of the fear, most of the fear away from me of like, if I don't get it right, you know what I mean? That there actually is no right. When I watch that Claire Foy and Emilia Clarke, I get this sense from Claire of like, ooh, I know why she got picked to play Monarchy. You know what I mean? She is. I don't even quite have the words. I don't have the language for it, but I can just sense that she's got control. You know?
Yeah, and a bit of an iciness.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely. Yes. And Emilia Clarke has such a winning smile and is so sort of warm and goofy, and
open-hearted.
Yes. 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 Yeah, that's such a fascinating clip. Yeah, I want to know more about that now. Who did book it and what was it for?
I know.
Yeah, fascinating. So you watched the tapes and you had a meeting today with showrunner and
writers and casting directors. Yeah.
And you all sort of agreed and they got sent to studio and network for approval? Or is there another step I'm missing?
Yes, no, that's right. Yeah, we spent about an hour today. You know, it wasn't an argument. It's not an argument. We all come with our preferences. We've all watched all the selects. We all come with our preferences and we discuss it. And we sometimes look at tapes back together and make decisions together. And I love it. I love it. I feel heard. I have reasons a lot of times and I feel like my reasons are heard. And then sometimes because it's early in the process for me, we haven't really discussed tone. And so, you know, there were some reasons that the writers had for some of their choices that I didn't know yet. You know what I mean? So it was a good time to sort of learn what they know about the story that I haven't gotten to yet. And I'm super pleased with the choices we made. I'm excited.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So you leave in just 3 days? Yes. 3 days. Wow.
Vancouver, yeah.
Here we go. It must be one of the first episodes of the season.
It is,
right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Early in the season.
And then you're doing one at the end of the season as well? That's fantastic.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I love this show.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's so well loved. Yeah.
It's a great group of people. As you said, you know, an actress that was on the show. Really lovely crew. It was one of the first shows back after the strikes because it was like ready to go pre-strike and then we just froze.
Yes.
I think maybe they'd even done the pilot. And then the strike shut everything down, so we were just waiting. And then I even got hired on it pre-strike. And then right out of the gate, as soon as the strikes were over, they crewed up. And I feel like they just got the cream of the crop of Vancouver crew because they were like the first one out of the gate. So yeah, lovely group of people. Justin is so kind. Fiona, Renee, she's the actress now. She's lovely. Like, they're just lovely.
Oh, that's so nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very comfortable talking to actors and shaping their performance. And I was casting a show one time, I'm not going to say what, and there was this actress that I really wanted who had gotten very emotional in her tape, which felt appropriate for me. And I was like, oh, this actress is my favorite. I want to cast her. And one of the producers was like, ugh, is that the one where she cried the whole time? And I was like, yeah, it was beautiful.
Yeah.
You know, and the executive producer was like, look, we'll cast her, but you gotta rein that in. That was way too much. And you know what? Fair enough. And then I knew when it came to that scene, okay, I was gonna pull her back a little bit less tears. Wow. The same thing that I thought was so beautiful, you know, he was like, it's too much crying.
That's fascinating.
I know.
That is so fascinating.
I know.
So how do you tell an actor to rein it in? What are the words you use?
I mean, it depends on the situation.
Yeah.
But I find most actors respond to, we're just going to pull that back a little bit.
Yeah.
You know? And I always let them go there first. Because I know it feels good. Like, it feels good, right? And then you're finding the depth. And then I will say, that was so beautiful. I love that emotion, but I definitely need some options with less emotion, less tears.
Yeah.
Can we keep the beautiful intensity and just pull back a bit on the tears? And usually I get, yep.
I love that.
How would that note be for you?
I think there's a lot of clarity as to what these are my words, what you need for our collaboration to be successful.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like you're coming down on me and I've done the thing.
No.
The way that you've said it is very much like, yes, love where we're going. Let's do a little bit of this. Sort of, it's very sort of fluid. And I think that would feel very respectful, the way it's being said, which would make me feel free and available to do it again. No one's looking at me like, good God, that was too much.
No, we're finding it together.
Yeah.
We're finding it together.
Mm-hmm.
And I got writers in my ear too. You know what I mean? We're all kind of finding it together. And sometimes something I will love, as I just told you, something I will love will feel too much to one of the writers or executives on set. And then I will be sent in as the conduit to pull it back a little bit. You know, there are many facets to being a good director. But I think one of the things I'm most proud of is really creating a safe space for actors to feel like they can try things and take risks and collaborate with me, and that there isn't a right or wrong. We are going to find it together, and I'm your partner in that with you. And I'm not a shout and adjustment across the set kind of person. I come in, I speak softly. Yep. I also have this ridiculous thing I do. It's so embarrassing. If I'm working with an actor and they cry, I also cry. Look, I'm doing it now. And I'll come in to give an adjustment and I'll be like, oh. And people are like, what is going on?
Oh my gosh, I would be like, did it.
Totally. Yeah. And you should feel that way because that's what it is for me. But I feel so on the same page as you emotionally with that same vulnerability. And I feel like I let people know that. And if I remember, I usually let an actor know if I come in crying, it's a good thing.
Here's what's happening. Yeah. Oh.
And I'm super comfortable. You know, I'm not embarrassed that I'm crying. It's no big deal to me. Yeah. Emotions on the outside kind of a person, but yeah.
That's beautiful. I love that.
Thanks.
How do you sort of nourish yourself for the week plus of shooting? As far as how do you maintain your sleep and literally nourish yourself?
Yeah, I mean, it's boring answers. I prioritize sleep 100%, prioritize nutrition, exercise as much as I can. You know, my day-to-day life, I'm a mother. I feel like I'm running around, I'm doing a million things, wearing a million hats. And when I go to work, if I'm working out of town, I'm just a director. You know what I mean? And I am protective of my space, of my free time. It is mine to rest, to read, to watch some garbage reality TV. You know, in my younger years, it would have been like, oh, I have a drink and a burger. But now it's like I have a smoothie and I sleep. I do some Pilates. I don't have a good answer.
Oh, that's a great answer. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. That's just what it has to be. And, you know, I eat pretty healthy in my life, but I eat my healthiest when I'm working because I know that it will affect how I feel. So I'm pretty strict about what I put in my body just so I can be my best self, my most potent self.
Absolutely.
Because the stress is no joke. It's pretty intense.
Yeah. Even if you are enjoying the people you're with and you're enjoying the thing that you do and this is what you love, it's intrinsically stressful.
You know what? I think that almost makes it more stressful because I used to direct a ton. You know, in 2022, I directed 10 episodes. I was so feeling really confident, you know, and then the industry shifted, as we all know, and it's so small now. You know, work is so few and far between that then when it comes around, I almost have a strength this is it. Then I'm overthinking everything and the pressure is so intense.
That is relatable, my friend.
Yeah.
When the industry contracts and there's fewer jobs available and we get fewer auditions, it's hard not to be precious with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Totally. I'm so precious with it. I'm so precious with it. And because I love it so much. But, you know, I was talking to my therapist about this. One of the reasons I'm good at it is because of the joy that it brings me. And so I can't put so much pressure on myself that I don't have access to that joy.
Yeah. Fuck. You said that or she helped you find that? Who needs a therapist?
Yeah, no. We found it together, Arda. We do.
I love that.
So, yeah, I think, and I know it's the same for an actor too, right? I mean, I don't know. I know you show up on set and you're so ready and you're so ready. And then you do the thing and it's so overwhelming and then it's over. And aren't you like wind whipped? Like, aren't you like, what just happened?
Oh, absolutely. It just happened. Absolutely.
Did I do good? Did I do bad? I don't even know.
Yes. And you're like in the van going back to like get your backpack so you can go back to the hotel. And you're like, I feel like the adrenaline is still going through my body. And yes.
Yes. That's part of the reason I wanted to create that class is like, I know that's how actors feel. I know it's disorienting. I know it's like you're not really sure what's going on and then it's over. And so I feel like teaching a little bit of like set protocol, how we approach a scene, how to tell when it's your close-up, who to ask if it's your close-up if you're not sure. All of these things so that you are able to be a little bit more in the moment with it, you know, instead of looking back on it like, what happened?
Yes. I can't wait to take your class in September. I so appreciate you being here and teaching the class at our studio. It means a lot.
I love it here.
Have a blast in Vancouver. Yeah, have so much fun.
I will. Yeah.
Thanks, April.
Thank you.